Hello, good morning. Hello, students. Good morning. So, I'll continue with the vectors. We had a discussion on scalars and vectors. What do you mean by scalar quantities? What do you mean by vector quantities? And what are the types of vectors? The quantities which can be measurable are called as physical quantities. And physical quantities are of two types: scalar quantities and vector quantities. Scalar quantities means, as I mentioned already, the quantities which require only magnitude without direction are called scalar quantities. Example: length, mass, electric current, temperature, speed, work, power, energy, etc. These physical quantities are having only magnitude, right? We talk about the vector quantities. Vector quantities, the quantities which are having both magnitude and direction. Direction is very important in vector quantities. And types of vectors. What do you mean by unit vector? What do you mean by equal vectors? What do you mean by coinitial vectors, coplanar vectors, zero vector? So I'll continue with the vectors now. What do you mean by negative vector? Negative vector is, see here, this is the vector A acting along the positive x direction whose magnitude is 10 units. Opposite to this vector A, this vector is acting which is in opposite direction. This is what is called as a negative vector. What do you mean by negative vector? Therefore, the negative of vector A is minus A vector. Vector A, which is having both magnitude and direction, which is acting along positive x direction, and exactly whatever the magnitude will be there, the same amount of magnitude is acting in magnitude of the vector, but it is taken in opposite direction, is what is called as a negative vector. Therefore, the negative of vector A is equal to the vector A. So now, how to add two vectors? Certain rules are there. Say adding two numbers in an ordinary algebra, adding two numbers is as usual only. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, or 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. This is an ordinary addition. So you cannot apply ordinary addition in this vector addition. So vector addition, in case of vector addition, there are certain rules are there. That is what is called as a vector rules of vector algebra. So first one is triangle of vector addition, right? So this is the initial point of the vector A. Please observe this triangle. This is vector A, its initial point is here, and this is its terminal point of the vector A. This is vector B, and its initial point is here and its terminal point is here. They are taken in one particular direction. They are vector A and vector B taken along the anti-clockwise direction. The resultant vector which is taken along clockwise direction. What is actually the triangle law of vector addition? Triangle law of vector addition states that if two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction, if two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction acting along the two sides of a triangle, taken in one order, the resultant vector which is taken along which is acting along the closing side of the triangle, which is in opposite direction. This is what is called triangle law of vector addition. Ordinary mathematical addition is different from vector addition. How to add the two vectors? Certain rules of vector algebra we have to apply here. There are two rules for vector additions. What are the first one is? First one is triangle law of vector addition. Please observe carefully. This is a vector A. Its initial point is here. Its terminal point is here. This is vector B. Its initial point is here and its terminal point is here. These vector A and vector B, which represents both magnitude and direction, they are taken along the they are taken in anti-clockwise direction along the two adjacent sides of a triangle. Whereas the resultant vector, the effect of A and B is given by vector C. The effect of vector A and vector B is given by vector C, which is taken along the closing side of the triangle, which is in clockwise direction. This is what is called triangle law of vector addition. How to add the two vectors? The terminal point of the vector A, this is the terminal point of the vector A, is meeting with the initial point of the vector B. Is meeting with the initial point of the vector B. So then they are under addition. See, observe carefully. So from the diagram, vector A plus vector B, they are in the anti-clockwise direction. Am I right? What about vector C? Vector C is taken in opposite direction. Therefore, minus vector C is equal to 0. Therefore, minus vector C is taken to the right hand side. Minus vector C will become plus vector C. Therefore, vector A plus vector B is equal to vector C. This is what is called triangle law of vector addition. What is the statement? If two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction acting along the two adjacent sides of a triangle taken in particular order, taken in particular direction, the resultant vector which is taken along the closing side of the triangle, which is in opposite direction. This is what is called triangle law of vector addition. See here, vector A, vector B, they are taken along anti-clockwise direction, which represents along the two adjacent sides of a triangle. Vector C, which is taken in the opposite direction, which is taken along the closing side of the triangle. Please copy the things. So triangle of vector addition is got over. Now parallelogram law of vector addition. So how to add the two vectors? Let us consider vector P, vector Q, which represents both magnitude and direction, acting along the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. So what is parallelogram law of vector addition? Parallelogram of law of vector addition states that if two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction, acting along the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, the diagonal passing through the point of concurrency, this is called concurrent point. The diagonal passing through the point of concurrency, which represents the magnitude and direction of the resultant of two vectors. Effect of P and effect of Q is given by vector R. The resultant vector, I will repeat once again, parallelogram law of vector addition. What do you mean by parallelogram law of vector addition? If two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction acting along the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, the diagonal passing through the point of concurrency, this is the diagonal passing through the point of concurrency. What do you mean by concurrency or concurrent? Two or more vectors are coming out of the same point, are acting at a point. This one vector is acting at this point, this another vector is acting at a point. What is this one? The resultant of R is the effect of P and Q, which is given by the diagonal taken from the point of concurrency. I will repeat once again, parallelogram of law of vector addition. Let us consider vector P, vector Q, which represents both magnitude and direction. Am I right? So, which are acting along the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. The diagonal passing through the point of concurrency. the diagonal passing through the point of concurrency which gives the magnitude and direction of the resultant of two vectors. Effect of P and effect of Q is given by this vector R. So now, if you half of this one, so you close this parallelogram. This is like a two triangles only. Observe carefully. This is a vector P. This is vector Q. Again, this is triangle of vector addition. Vector P and vector Q acting along the two adjacent sides of a triangle. Two sides of a triangle taken in particular direction. Where is the resultant vector? This is the resultant vector. This is the resultant vector. Am I right or not? This is the resultant vector. This resultant vector which is taken along the closing side of the triangle. This is again it is a triangle of vector addition. Similarly, here also same case. This is one side of a triangle. This is another side of a triangle which are taken along the clockwise direction. The resultant vector which is taken in the opposite direction. So this is about the parallelogram of vector addition. I'll repeat. What do you mean by parallelogram of vector addition? If two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction acting along the adjacent sides of a parallelogram. The diagonal passing through the point of concurrency. This is the diagonal passing through the point of concurrency which represents the magnitude and direction of the resultant of two vectors. The resultant of P and Q, the effect of P and Q is denoted by R. The diagonal passing through the point of concurrency which represents the magnitude and direction of the resultant of two vectors. This is called parallelogram of vector addition. What do you mean by this? Is about there are two rules for addition of vector. One is called law of triangle of vector addition. Second one is called law of parallelogram of vector addition. Next, scalar multiplication of a vector. How you will multiply the two vectors? See here, what do you mean by a scalar? Scalar quantity you know well is a number, only magnitude, no direction. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. See here, mass is a scalar quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity. Again, momentum is a vector quantity. What do you mean by scalar multiplication of a vector? Whenever a vector is multiplied by a scalar, the result will be a vector. Say m is a scalar. Whenever a vector velocity is a vector is multiplied by a scalar, the result will be a vector. This is what is called scalar multiplication of a vector. I'll repeat once again. Momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Velocity is having a direction. Momentum is also having a direction. Where mass is a scalar quantity, mass is only having a magnitude without direction. Hence, whenever a vector is multiplied by a scalar, the result will be a vector. Similarly, force is a vector, mass is a scalar, into acceleration is a vector. Again, vector A generally, vector A is equal to lambda times of vector B, where lambda is a scalar quantity. So this is about the first one is parallelogram of law of vector addition. The law states that if two vectors which represents both magnitude and direction acting along the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, the diagonal passing through the point of concurrency, which represents magnitude and direction of the resultant of two vectors. This is about the parallelogram. So now we'll move on to the scalar multiplication of a vector. What do you mean by scalar multiplication? Mass is a scalar. Multiplied with a vector quantity, the result will be a vector. It is called as scalar multiplication of a vector. Whenever a vector is multiplied by a scalar, the result will be a vector. This is called scalar multiplication of a vector. Please copy the things. I have written in vector P plus vector Q are acting along the one direction. Vector r is acting in the opposite direction. In the downward triangle, in the upward triangle again vector q, in the top triangle vector q plus vector p, they are acting in clockwise direction. Vector r is in the anti-clockwise direction, therefore we will get minus r is equal to 0. Minus r vector is nothing but a, if you take onto the right hand side, it will become vector r. So now we'll move on to the, what do you mean by the special operation is what is called as a vector product. What do you mean by a vector product of two vectors? Cross product of two vectors. So very, very important. Cross product is very, very important. What do you mean by cross product or vector product? This is a vector A and vector B. They are along the same plane only. Vector A and vector B on the same plane only. This is like this only. They are in the same plane. This is a vector A, the vector B are acting along the same plane, which represents both magnitude and direction. Where is the R vector? This is the R vector. The resultant vector C, which is perpendicular to the vector A as well as perpendicular to the vector B. See, just see here, this is 90 degree. I'll repeat once again. This is a vector A, this is a vector B. Vector A and vector B on the same plane only. They are acting along the same plane only, which represents both magnitude and direction. Where is the resultant vector? This is the resultant vector which is perpendicular to the vector A and vector B. So best example is screwdriver. Screwdriver, you know, a right-handed screw. Whenever right-handed screw is rotated in an anti-clockwise direction, if you rotate it in an anti-clockwise direction, it will going up. So best example for what do you mean by first? Later I will give the example for vector product. Let us consider vector A and vector B, which represents both magnitude and direction, acting at an angle of theta. The angle between these two vectors is, let it be theta only. Angle is theta. Vector A and vector B on the same plane only. Where is the resultant vector? Vector C is equal to vector A cross vector B. Point number 1. So where is the resultant of A and B? The resultant of A and B is given by n cap. N cap. So you are rotating in one plane. You are rotating in one plane. The result will be in the other plane, perpendicular to the plane. So that is what is called as a cross product of two vectors. So how to define the cross product of two vectors? Vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sin theta into n cap. So what do you mean by definition of cross product? The definition of cross product is when the product of two vectors, cross product of two vectors is defined as the vector product or cross product of two vectors is defined as the product of the magnitudes of the two vectors, product of the magnitudes of the two vectors and sine of the angle theta between the two vectors. And sine of the angle theta between the two vectors. When vector A is cross with vector B. So best example is screwdriver. You get the screwdriver, you rotate martira. So if you are rotating in one plane, see here I am rotating the this one pen in one direction. See here in one plane. This is in this plane. Where is the resultant? So it is moving upward. A cross B will give us to the upward direction. What about B cross A? B cross A is in the downward direction. If you rotate it in the anti-clockwise direction. Sorry, if you rotate it in clockwise direction, the result will be in the downward direction. If you rotate it in the anti-clockwise direction, the result will be in the upward direction. So what is A cross B? What do you mean by cross product or vector product? The cross product of two vectors is defined as the product of the magnitudes of the two vectors. Product of the magnitudes of the two vectors and sine of the angle theta between the two vectors. So therefore, what is the formula for A cross B? Vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sin theta into n cap. What is n cap? N cap is the unit vector which gives the direction of the resultant vector. N cap is a unit vector. What do you mean by unit vector? Whose magnitude is unity, which gives the direction of resultant vector. So what is A cross B? Therefore vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of A is A only, magnitude of B is B only, sin theta into n cap. So this is the formula for vector A plus vector B. So if you want to take the modulus of A plus B, the whole equation you take the modulus. Modulus of A is A only, modulus of B is B only, modulus of sin theta is sin theta only. What is modulus of n cap? Modulus of n cap is 1. Therefore, magnitude of A plus B is AB sin theta. It is having only magnitude only, no direction. This is having both magnitude and direction. This equation is having both magnitude and direction. This is only modulus. Modulus means only how much? The value of the physical quantity do not having any direction. If we take the modulus of this whole equation, modulus of A is A only, modulus of B is B only, modulus of sin theta only, modulus of n cap is called as a unit vector whose magnitude is unity. Now observe carefully. If I, J, K have taken in clockwise direction, I, J, K are taken in along the clockwise direction. I cross J. What is A cross B? Magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sin theta. Where is the result? So you get K cap. The result of I cross J are in one plane. The result will be in the other plane, perpendicular to the plane containing I and J. That is, the result will be in the K direction. Therefore, what is I cross J? I cross J is equal to magnitude of I into magnitude of J into sin theta into K cap. Therefore, I cross J is equal to magnitude of I, unit vector whose magnitude is 1. Unit vector whose magnitude of J is 1. Sin of theta. What is the angle between I and J? I is the unit vector acting along x axis. J is the unit vector acting along y axis. The angle between I and J is 90 degree. Sin of 90 degree is what is sin of 90 degree is 1. Therefore, 1 into 1 into 1 is equal to K cap. Therefore, I cross J is equal to K. The result will be in this one. Similarly, you can write as what you will do? J cross K is equal to I, K cross I is equal to J. So if let us suppose I cross with I cross with I, magnitude of I into magnitude of I into, what is the angle between I cap and I cap? Both the I caps are acting along x axis only. Theta is 0 degree. Therefore, sin of 0 degree is 0. 0 into anything is 0 only. Therefore, I cross I is equal to 0. Please copy the things. So here in this diagram, I, J, K all are taken along the clockwise direction. I cross with J, you will get positive K. So you will get positive K. Similarly, J cross with K, you will get positive I. Similarly, K cross with I, you will get positive J. This is the meaning of this diagram. I, J, K all are taken along the clockwise direction. This is in the clockwise direction. Please copy the things. What do you mean by vector product or cross product of two vectors? The cross product of two vectors is defined as the product of the magnitudes of the two vectors and sine of the angle theta between the two vectors. Let us consider vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B into sin theta into n cap. What is n cap? N cap is the unit vector which is acting along the direction of resultant of vector A cross vector B, where vector C is the resultant of vector A cross vector B. If A cross B is taken in A is crossed with B in the anti-clockwise direction, the resultant will be vector C in the upward direction. If let us suppose you take B cross A, vector B cross vector A, vector B is crossed with vector A, that is in the clockwise direction, the result will be in the downward direction. The result will be in the downward direction. See, vector A cross vector B, vector A, this is a vector A and this is a vector B. Vector A, screwdriver, best example. So when you rotate the screwdriver in the anti-clockwise direction, it is moving upward. The same screwdriver, if you rotate it in downward direction, right, in the clockwise direction, it is moving down. The tip is pointing downward. Here also, best example is right-handed screw. If the right-handed screw is rotated, the tip advancement will give the resultant of vector A cross vector B. And vector A cross vector B is denoted by the direction of rotation of the screw head. In case of right-handed screw, you rotate the screw head, the rotation is given by vector A cross vector B. Am I right or not? They are in the one plane. The tip advancement will give the resultant of vector A cross vector B, which is in the perpendicular to the plane containing vector A and vector B. So now we will move on to the vector A cross vector B with respect to the unit vectors I, J, K in the clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. So now first one is clockwise direction is got over. Now we will move on to the anti-clockwise direction. Same vectors are moving in anti-clockwise direction. Then what will be the result you can expect here? Fine. So I have first one is given in anti-clockwise direction, it got over. So observe carefully. Similarly, I have written the result I cross I. Both I and I are acting along the x-axis. Therefore, magnitude of I into magnitude of I into sine of angle between the two vectors acting along the same direction, 0 degree. Sine of 0 is 0 only. 0 into anything is 0. Similarly, you will get the result I cross I is equal to J cross J. J cross J is equal to K cross K is equal to 0. If they are acting along the same axis. So now we will take it in the clockwise direction. So now see here. Sorry, this is in the anti-clockwise direction. IJK. So I is crossed with K now. So because you are moving in anti-clockwise direction, if I is crossed with K, you will get minus J, negative J. Because I crossed with K, you will get minus J. So rotation is opposite. In the opposite direction, you will get minus J. Similarly, K crossed with J. K cross with J, you will get negative I. Similarly, J cross with I, you will get negative K. This is the concept. What are the example for cross product or vector product? Why it is called vector product? Very simple, guys. Radius vector or vector, force is a vector. When two vectors undergoing cross operation, the result will be a vector. Hence, cross product of two vectors is also called as vector product. I'll repeat once again. Radius vector, force vector. What do you mean by torque? You are moving the door. The moment when you pushing the door is it's moving along it is rotating about its own axis. The effect will be along the hinges. Hinges will give the direction of the resultant of rotation of A cross B. Right? The moment when you push the door is rotating. Right? About its own axis. That is what is called torque only. Torque is radius vector into point of application of force. It is defined as the cross product of radius vector and point of application of force. Similarly, angular momentum of an electron. So the best example for angular momentum is a ballet dancer. Ballet dancer will spin about her own axis, right? So that is the best example. Another one is orbital angular momentum of an electron. Electron is orbiting around the nucleus of an atom. Electron is orbiting around the nucleus of an atom. That is also angular momentum. So angular momentum is the cross product of linear momentum cross with radius vector. Linear momentum cross with radius vector. These are the two. So many other examples are there. The example for vector product or cross product. So now we'll move on to the first one is node. Vector A is parallel to vector B. If vector A is parallel to vector B, what you will get the resultant? See, observe carefully. Vector A is crossed with vector B. Sin theta, sin of 0 degree is 0. Therefore, vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sin theta. Because theta is 0, because two vectors are parallel. Two vectors are parallel means then their cross product is 0. Therefore, cross product is 0 and minimum. Vector A is perpendicular to vector B. Theta is equal to 90 degree. Sin of 90 degree is equal to 1. Therefore, vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sin theta into n cap. Sin theta into n cap. So here it is n cap I have not taken. So you can write no problem. N cap will give the direction of n cap will give the direction of A cross B. Vector A cross vector B, AB times of n cap. N cap will give the direction of A cross B. Please copy the things. Okay, I'll continue in the next class.